Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Breaking Points. Emily, pleasure.
It's a pleasure to be here, and especially today, Krystal, because we have great news.
Yes, we have great show news. We have a lot of big news in the show.
We have a lot of bad news.
A lot of bad news
about the world in general,
but I mean, that's
show.
kind of typical and to be expected at this point in all of our lives, I would assume. But we do have good news with regard to the show. By popular demand, we are bringing back the monthly membership. Let's go. So that is exciting. And here are the benefits you get as a premium Breaking Points member. You get full uncut episodes in your inbox every morning. You get ad-free shows. You get the live streamed AMAs. You get the second half of the Friday show. You get the full complete Friday show, which you definitely don't want to miss. And it says interact with the hosts. Yeah.
Sure.
We do. Yeah, sure.
I don't see why not.
Go for it. In the Friday show, we also take some premium questions. And we're looking for more opportunities to do that sort of engagement. And not only are we bringing back the monthly membership, put the next piece up on the screen, we are doing a free monthly trial promotion right now. The promo code there is BP free. So listen, we realize the economy is on a little bit precarious ground. People are feeling a little leery of putting out the big upfront cost, so we get that. So that's why we wanted to do this and do the promotion. And if you guys are able to support us, it has allowed us to expand to 5 days a week. We've got a lot of ideas for how we want to continue to expand and grow the show. So thank you all so much already for your support. And if you're able to subscribe, breakingpoints.com, that's where you go. You put in that BP free code, you get a free month. See if you find it worth your money.
Yeah, just give it a try.
Yeah.
Can't hurt.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so go ahead and throw up the show bar. We can go through quickly. What is in the show? We've got a bunch of big economic news that we'll go through. Jeff Stein is actually going to join us. Wall Street concerned about the bond market. We've got new tariffs. We've got new escalation with China, so a lot to get into there. We also are going to have Jeremy Scahill to join us with the latest with regards to those ceasefire talks and also a horrific massacre of Palestinians who were seeking aid in that new mercenary-led scheme. So Scahill will break all of that down for us. Also want to get his reaction to some Jake Tapper comments about the college student protests that I think will be interesting.
Yeah, which means that we have to watch the video again. We've already watched it once this morning, and I don't know that I can do it again, Krystal.
Are you sure it's a pleasure to be here this morning, Emily?
No, I've changed my mind.
Also, got to get to news with regard to Ukraine and Russia. They were able to effectuate this quite dramatic attack on Russian warplanes deep inside of Russia. This happens as peace talks are, ongoing there, so that is incredibly significant. We've got more Elon news for you, bunch of news articles coming out about some inside details about his drug use and Trump sort of losing confidence in him, asking at one point, wait a second, were the cuts, was this all bullshit? Which is kind of surprising that he didn't know that it was all bullshit coming in, but anyway. So we've got a lot going on there. Joni Ernst, Republican senator, defending the proposed Medicaid cuts by saying, hey, we're all going to die at some point.
Incredible. She's fact-check that, Krystal. I dare you.
No lies detected, I guess.
Is she wrong?
Yeah, no lies detected. And then we do have the AMA
Well, I was going to
Live.
say, she put an even better apology video out, so stay tuned for that, too.
Literally walking through a graveyard.
It's something else, so make sure you stay tuned for that one.
Yeah. Before we get to any of that, though, we are tracking developments out of Boulder, Colorado. We can put this tear sheet up on the screen. There was an attack that's being described as a terror attack. 8 people injured, set on fire, actually, in Boulder, Colorado. And they say after man allegedly targets rally for Israeli hostages. So this is a group of protesters who's been gathering, my understanding is on a weekly basis, calling for the release and the return of Israeli hostages. And they have a suspect in custody already, 45-year-old man identified as Mohammed Sabri Solomon, alleged to have thrown device into a group of people who had assembled in this pedestrianized zone for a peaceful protest for Israeli hostages. And like I said, 8 people injured. I believe 2 had to be airlifted to a special burn unit, so that was kind of the nature of their injuries. And there's a video coming out from the scene, Emily, obviously. It's just absolutely horrific. And he was, he seemed, frankly, quite unwell, but was sort of ranting and saying free Palestine. And of course, this comes on the heels of that horrific attack here in D.C. as well, in which the 2 Israeli embassy staffers were murdered by someone else who also said free Palestine. So this is certainly going to heightened interest in what is going on here.
Yeah, and local news is reporting that one of the victims actually was a Holocaust survivor. Mostly
elderly woman, right?
Yeah, elderly woman. I think almost everybody who was being burned. So you can see in the videos of the suspect, he's walking around with Molotov cocktails and his shirt off. So reportedly, according to local news, I think it's Channel 9 out there in Boulder at least, one of the victims was, and they all are suffering from burns. If you look up the videos, be careful looking up the videos. They're pretty rough. But if you look up the videos, people were burning. It's a really awful scene. I want to add, Krystal, Bill Malugin is reporting that 3 senior DHS sources have told Fox that the Boulder terror suspect is an Egyptian national in the U.S. illegally as a visa overstay who entered the U.S. during the Biden administration. Bill says, I'm told he arrived at LAX in August of 2022 on a B1, B2 non-immigrant visa with an authorized stay through 2023, but he overstayed and never left. He filed some sort of claim with USCIS, potentially an asylum claim, back in 2022, but in 2023, under the Biden admin, USCIS gave him work authorization. That, though, expired in March. So this is coming, it expired March 28th. So it's coming the last couple of months after his work authorization expired.
Yeah, so it looks like a visa overstay, Egyptian national. Right. So yeah, I mean, you have a horrific attack here, and you have, Free Palestine being yelled, protests for Israeli hostages. You have someone who's an immigrant, Egyptian national, visa overstay. So there are a lot of, obviously, incendiary political issues that are swirling inside of this. And, I would just say that similar to the attack that we covered here, this is obviously not going to benefit in any way if you care about the cause of freedom, humanity, peace, and civilization. This is directly at odds with, any movement to free Palestine or free any human beings around the world. So, one other thing that I'll say, and this is a point that Shail Ben Ephraim was making on Twitter, rather controversially. Obviously, the attackers in both of these attacks are responsible for their horrific actions. As I said before, this man seemed sort of unwell. Mm-hmm. But in any case, they're responsible for their actions. But it is also true that if you're concerned about anti-Semitism and hate and violence around the world, Israel intentionally conflating all Jewish people with their own atrocities that they're committing is going to lead to an increase in anti-Semitism. And so if you care about the safety of Jewish people, as you certainly should, the actions that are being taken, the genocide that is being committed in Gaza, is making Jewish people unsafe everywhere. It is contributing to that horrific climate, especially, as I said, when there is such an overt effort to conflate all Jewish people with the actions of this, at this point, completely rogue state. So, that's, I guess, my perspective on some of what is unfolding here.
Just want to underscore the point you made about peace and this not helping anyone anywhere towards the cause of peace. Should add, Kash Patel has said they are investigating this as a targeted terror attack. So much more details to come from that vantage point, what they turn up in the investigation. We will obviously continue to follow that story.
Indeed. All right, let's turn to the latest with regard to economic news, and we have Jeff Stein joining us.
Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.